Hi all and welcome. As always, I've got a fresh set of questions around the basics on life, how to think. Somehow you find it interesting when I describe some experiences to you. Not that I'm trying to be a genius here, but it's just that you should benefit from whatever I underwent, and you should not waste your time struggling to seek solutions the way I did. So, one interesting question that spread an instant smile on my face was around how to deal with pompous people who just spill too much advice all the time. So this is slightly detailed. Okay, now let's assume for a minute that everybody is your well-wisher, and that is the healthiest way to live life. I mean, you should always think that everyone wishes you well, everyone wants you in the best state possible. However, somehow some people have fallen prey over the years out of sheer practice. They've been doing this over and over again, that unless they present some magnanimous theory, which pierces into the situation and strikes their presence, they are not satisfied. So basically they want to talk a lot. They want you to understand from their view as to who you are, which is funny, and they want to make you understand your mistakes against how they spent their life. Now look at the situation here, and you would usually observe that such people are fairly dull, not very lively. They are into mundane tasks mostly. They would either be into a lot of preaching or a stream of work which requires them to just be engrossed in studies all the time. So it's a pattern. As far as I've watched it from a distance and I've read about the concept, our brain definitely does get impacted by the way we condition it. If you are someone who always spends a lot of time pondering over the past and talking about your experiences and how your life is totally miserable, how nature is against you, everybody is strategizing against you, you cannot achieve this, you cannot do that, that's a whole lot of minutes wasted as we speak. Nothing's going to change. You just sit back and regret how you lost your years. Bygones are bygones. Let them go away. Think about tomorrow. Be futuristic. It's a very critical concept. I know it's easier said than done, and not that I've never fallen prey to depression or sadness when I'm faced situations which are totally negative. It happens to the best of us. The point is, what is your learning out of it? It could be someone very close to you, unfortunately, who tries to debate with you on how things should have been done. Now the efforts are intended to I would wish that the efforts are not to make their presence felt and to address your issue. Unfortunately, what they end up doing most in my personal experiences is spill a lot of poison, mostly unknowingly. They talk of negative things that went wrong, how you could have done better, how you should change things in you, how you are a miserable person, how you made them feel miserable. And all of this is fairly indirect, and you struggle and spend a lot of time wondering, why am I stuck in this? Why am I stuck in me? Why am I me? And life can never, unfortunately, address that question for you. You are the best the way you are. It is exceptionally significant that you believe in this concept. You will have your pitfalls, you will have your highs. The bright person is who does not really put a scale to life and always compares his current state versus that. It's always good to be ambitious, but it works well in business, not in your life at large. If I'm rendering some services to someone, I usually charge them a cut for it. I call it my incentive for sharing my knowledge. Does it mean that I should do that at a personal front? Should I expect somebody to do something according to me all the time? That is one sadistic way of living life, no matter how good a person you are or how good your advice is, because you are at the center of the universe and you want everybody around you to function as you think is best. So basically, the world will only hold one shape of however your brain wishes to see it, not even how your brain sees it, how it aspires to see it. So you will be a hard-working person and not really a smart person. You will be a hard worker because it's a great value according to somebody who you look up to, unfortunately or otherwise. Because some people are really running out of good role models. You are really fortunate if you run into someone who inspires you and not really upsets you talking about misses that you had. People who are really inspiring will talk about the hits that you had. They would usually be aware of your qualities, not really your drawbacks. There is nobody alive on earth who does not have drawbacks. Some people are very good with the covering up side of it. And I'm not against them. I'm personally not against any type of individual. It's just that they are best avoided. You should stick to people who talk positive, who reassure you that no matter how messed up things are, there will be a better tomorrow. Talking personally, I have some very close, dear people who are relatives who talk too much about the lashes of time in the past and how their life was a total misery, how they contributed to healing the situation at that time. And there's a whole lot of talk of past, how they struggled with their life. While at a certain level that is a lot of knowledge, because you can avoid a lot of paths that they fooled themselves in. You can avoid their blunders. That is the learning. But unfortunately they fail to accept that they make blunders. They would want to look at it as them being the intellectual and you being a person who does not have the maturity to see it through. Please do not be judgmental of your maturity basis your age, your exposure. You are one unique individual. You don't think the way anyone around you operates. You don't operate that way. You don't think the way anybody thinks. You don't have the same taste. Even something as simple as butter will taste significantly different from mouth to mouth. We are people. When we come in contact with the environment around us, our bodies respond differently to that. In the same conditions, which is surprising, and that is the great part about life. You don't know how long you need to live for because you are one individual. You don't know what your actually story unfolds as. Keep with that mystery. Enjoy that uncertainty. Be ready to take risks. I've seen far too many people who spend most of their life doing the same job. First, they hunt for a safe job. They don't want to do things differently. They want to templatize as many things as they could. So this is the template. I will follow it through first because discipline is very important. It may work in jobs which require high coordination, like the army, combat in the air. I know that there is no scope of creativity there and dynamism is best kept minimal. But in your regular lives, you have to find your edge and you have to give time for yourself. When all the yous that we are, when we do that individually, we will turn to happier versions of ourselves. And when we are happier, we'll do things with more passion, more involvement, more creativity, more dedication. All of that will evolve automatically. You would not have to force somebody to work on something because he will be loving the way he does it. Loving being an absurd word there. Anyway, who is right is a very significant argument. You watch the television, you watch politicians fighting against each other. In usual social settings, you can often find cribbing family members. It could be odd relationships, husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend, father and son. It's usually the same sexes that fight the most. I mean, in my experience, I don't know. I'm not coining theories here, but that's what experiences made me watch. So, why does that happen? The whole fight is who amongst us is right. Now, when you want a commodity from the market, you pay a price for it, you procure it, then you have to use it. But you cannot really brag about the whole effort that went into buying that commodity for the rest of your life, because very soon that commodity will be done with, will be obsolete, You would have to. It'll be time for you to engage in buying a new one. You know, they have a functional lifetime. Similarly, people, they are unique commodities. They do not, no two commodities are manufactured the same way. You have to find someone who complies with your thought process, understands it, respects it. Most significantly, a person who respects you would automatically understand you, even in the most odd situations, because the person would have a fair judgment of why would he have done that. I'm sure he has reasons to do that if he did it, and not really speculate. Speculation is, I don't know. It is the entertainment of fools, I believe. Speculating on who did what and why is beyond human capacity. You can never understand another brain. You cannot even understand your own brain completely. Half the people are usually mad at themselves 70% of the day. Why did I do this to my life? Why did I do this and that here? Am I born special? Not really, but I've struggled my way through this. I understood what actually matters. It does not matter who around me appreciates me, who around me is upset with me. How do I impress people? They will automatically be impressed if you're doing things the way you are supposed to do it, and you have something that they've never seen before to offer. Focus on that and be in full spirit of who you are all the time. It is significant. Otherwise your birth is like the generalized compartment of life. You're just another, you're just another hardware into which a preset program is punched in, and people are driving you around. They are telling you the right path to wisdom and whatnot. Not forsaken. But please, especially the younger generation, the younger us, my whole target of sharing this with you is because I feel that not all of us may have the right advising authorities around us. Life is such, people undergo difficult situations in life. Some of them have to struggle through their life. They become bitter people by design. When they become bitter, they talk bitter. They make you think dark about life. Nothing for them spells hope. And if you are surrounded by such people, and I see that happening a lot in this generation, we have everything available. We are born in a beautiful era. We have technology beyond compare. We have facilities which match with the most modern countries, but we still are struggling with our own ethics and philosophies. It's like somehow passed on generation post other. How would somebody in your predecessors talk of something like Google or Android? They have no insight into it. So if they are advising you of how much to use it, you are fooling yourself. You are trying to act nice. This whole act of acting nice is, in my terms, it is cheating yourself, cheating them. You should be very clear, in a well-mannered way. You can always tell people about how you feel about things and how it is significant for you. And whatever the results are, you have to be happy with that consequence. Consequences are always there. For every action, there will be a consequence. So your consequences should be yours. You should not be driven around by others. Personally, I have been emotionally driven around by a few minds that I trusted a lot in life. Sometimes it's benefited me, sometimes the results have been totally contrary. Then who deals with the consequences is you. So be mindful, be thoughtful, live life being proud of who you are. If you can do that, one lifetime is well spent. Otherwise it was just aping something which you probably did not even comply with. So there is no absolute meaning to life. There is no meaning to life. Life is meaningless by design. It's not, but it's not an assertion. It is not an assumption. It is not how someone assumes you to be, how someone assumes you are. They don't know who you are. Nobody can ever know who you are. You may know your children when you are a parent till a certain age. Once they are beyond your span of control, they will have more characters entering. They will be influenced differently by different brains around. Different brains will inspire them than the ones that inspired you. They might be more keen on getting inspired by athletes and not professors. So take life as it comes, please, and live naturally. Don't be worried about questions like these. Who do I trust with advice, and is it significant who is right? Nobody is right, nobody is wrong. Thank you.